Welcome to the Twin Vision Recording Studio podcast, and today in the house we have a Ghost for All Seasons, a local up-and-coming metalcore band. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Daniel Keller. I'm the drummer.
I'm Ricky Nickel, the bass player.
Mark Craig, I'm the vocalist.
Nick Jones, guitar.
Awesome, guys. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how you guys met. How did you guys form?
I started the band, I guess, late last year, 2017.
Okay.
And picked up a few of the members that are here today, but then a few of the members we have are new. But formed the band as a fun little project, and it's kind of grown from there. Like I said, picked up some of the new members, but it's just meant to be for fun, and it's kind of growing into something a little bit different.
Something more serious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Nick, you were talking yesterday a little bit about an interesting story you had with how you got into the band. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, my buddy tagged me in a post. These guys are looking for a guitar player. And I had actually, after the last band that I was in didn't work out, packed up all my stuff and took it to my wife's storage unit. Figured, what the hell, I've got a career already, you know, so. But I figured I'd go ahead and see what these guys were all about, and I heard Avarice on YouTube and really liked it. So I said, yeah, I'll do the video audition, and not remembering that I had taken my stuff and put it into the storage units, you know, so. Yeah. I'm like for 2 hours working on like trying to Frankenstein this old Fender Squier amp to run my other head that I had, little Vox head. And after about 2 hours of failing miserably at that, I decided that I'd just do it on my acoustic. So I busted out to Martin and sent them Croatoan as my video audition.
See, that's awesome. Trying out for a metalcore band on acoustic. You don't really hear that every day. That's super interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. I wasn't sure it could go one way or the other at that point. You know?
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. So, hey, I wanted to talk a little bit, too, about how you guys got started in music. So why don't we go around and talk a little bit about that?
Okay, yeah, sure. I as a kid, I always loved music, and but I never really had money for any instruments or anything like that. So I always played my cousin's drums and guitars and just kind of messed around with them. Eventually, I ended up moving in with a good friend of mine. He actually kind of taught me a little bit on the guitar and really got me interested in the music. And I actually applied to be the guitarist of this band originally, and then he was like, "Well, you could do drums, right?" And yeah. So I tried out, and they liked it, you know. So just I guess over the time of me just jamming on my cousin's instruments and stuff like that, I really found a liking to it, and now I'm in a spot where I really enjoy it. So
absolutely, yeah. That's really cool.
The best part of music, man, is just doing something you love.
Yep.
What about you, all Rick?
Well, originally I got into music like when I was younger. I was probably a kid. My dad, he was a pretty successful musician, and he tried to teach me how to play music, all sorts of instruments, mainly guitar, bass, like from the time I was maybe like 5 and so on. But I was never really interested, never really picked it up. Like, I always loved music, but never really got into it. And then when I was in middle school, I ended up joining like the band in middle school and played. And I started in percussion, actually playing drums. And from there, I just kind of found like a love for like music and like actually playing music and performing. So since then, I've been kind of like just hopping around from like instruments and such, and like even tried doing vocals for some time and progressed like doing that. Yeah, like now I just stick to playing bass. Like I played like in mine and Mark's first band actually together, the Scarlet Massacre. I played bass, and it worked out for a little bit. I mean, I'm not the greatest or anything, but yeah, and pretty much I just play music because I love it. My dad got me interested in it, so it's kind of also a way to make him proud of me because he was always a little bit older anyway, and Like, I mean, he was 45 by the time I was born, so he never really had any time to like do anything with me. Music was like the only thing he could show me. So
It's like a good connection to family as well.
yeah,
Looking
pretty
at music
much.
and stuff like that, coming from a family of musicians.
Yeah.
Don't forget to mention who your dad is.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad was the original guitar player for the Turtles.
Ah,
Like songs like Eleanor, Happy Together, and
Nice.
stuff like that. Like everybody
Very
knows Happy
cool.
Together.
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's rad, man.
Yeah.
You learn something every day, right?
Yeah.
So what about you, Mark?
Man, okay. So, I don't know, probably about 12 or 13. I was wearing, baggy clothes. I had bleached blonde hair, and I idled Eminem. And,
fucking
Could definitely see that.
yeah.
Marky.
Yeah, but not so slim.
Marky Mark.
But then my mom's like, "Oh yeah, I got you an awesome birthday present. You're gonna really love it." And I'm like, "What the heck? What the heck you got?" Like, and then I got a guitar, like the first act or something like that. I don't remember, but it wasn't all that great. But I was like, "What do you want me to do with this?" Like, I can rap with it, I guess. I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, I wasn't even a musician really, and so I started trying to play songs. Started getting into like 80s stuff with my my friend Chris, who was actually in a middle school band shortly after called Planned Quarantine at some time. Wanted to be in that band. I don't know. I was probably like 16 at that time, but I tried to learn all these 80s songs and tabs and doing everything I can to try to get better, to show them that I'm worth becoming a guitar player.
On that first act?
Yeah.
Nice.
And didn't get that spot. So then, I started thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to do my own thing. So in my middle school, I put up flyers and starting a band. I don't even remember what we called ourselves, but terrible. Like, oh, man. And then I remember there's just a road of bands, We did this one thing, a friend of mine and another friend of mine, called White Roses, but spelt the letters wrong, like kind of like, how an 80s band would have done it.
Like Six?
Yeah, like, it was WITE, Roses was ROZEZ.
Hella like Sticks.
Just lame, and it kind of grew from there. But I always started as a guitar player, picked up other instruments, having fun with it for some time. But I got to a point where I was kind of sick of playing guitar. Then I settled down, had a family, and then I was like, I'm going to try this one more time. But this time I want to go vocals. I always practice vocals behind the door, Never really let it out. So this time I wanted to give it a go as a vocalist. So here we are.
Absolutely, man. That's really cool. That's very cool.
I started off, I was probably about 14 years old, and I was just this radical little skateboarder kid, total anti-establishment. I would skateboard from my place like 2 miles down the road to my buddy's place. This guy that I had met, he was totally into punk rock. I showed up at his house one day, and my buddy Randall was back in his bedroom playing his guitar, and I thought it was the radio. So I walked down the hall, and it was actually him playing the guitar, and I was like, whoa, man, that's awesome. You got to teach me how to do that. So he taught me how to play Nervous Breakdown by Black Flag in about like 2 hours. He was like blown away that I picked it up so fast. So I would skateboard every day. After school, I would get my homework done, and then I would skateboard over to Randall's house, play guitar, print out as many tabs as I could. This was back before smartphones, So I was like
yeah.
battling
Yeah,
my
papers
dad
and
to
stuff.
get on old AOL dial-up to get tablature. So I just printed out as many as I could over at my buddy Randall's house.
That shows your
Never
age,
done
man.
that.
So I went from doing that. My mom gave me an acoustic Alvarez, so I was like trying to play punk rock on an acoustic. Acoustic back again,
You got a reputation with that thing.
Yeah. So I went from doing that. I finally asked them when I was like 15 if they could buy me a guitar and an amplifier for Christmas. So they went down and got me the beginner's pack from Bizarre Guitar. It was the Fender Squire pack. It came with a cord, a tuner, and the guitar. I didn't even know how to use the tuner. So I kind of just taught myself how to do it, playing punk rock songs. Started off with Black Flag, moved into the old AFI. And
Absolutely.
then I heard the band Queensryche, and that kind of broke me free of punk rock, and I was like, wow, had no idea that a band could sound that good live. So I moved into playing 80s style metal. Played 80s style metal for a long time, just meeting older guys that are good at licks and stuff. Moved from playing that into playing like acoustic grunge, then into acoustic rock, a little bit of country, back to metal.
Absolutely, man.
Can't
That
keep away
sounds
from
like
it.
quite the journey.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I wanted to also talk a little bit more about what your guys' message is as a band. Like, what is it that you're trying to portray to everybody? Or your
Why's it
fans?
always got to be me?
You are the message, my man.
The front man, Mark.
I want people to hear what we've got, but I mean, I want to make music that I enjoy with my friends,
Absolutely.
Some of these guys, like Ricky here, known him for a long time, like he was saying. Family, and then these other guys like Nick and Keller, that guy, our other guitar player Daniel, I've known him for a long time too, but like Nick and Keller over here, new to my life, fairly new, and already, becoming this like strong family kind of deal.
I feel that.
We're all pretty tight with each other, and it's I don't know. I've never been in a group before where everybody kind of just cares
all
about
new.
each other.
The theme of being united, essentially.
Yeah, it's just it's awesome, and I kind of just want us to see where we can take it, whether that's rocking a bar here in Reno or going somewhere else. Either way, I don't care, and I enjoy it.
It's kind of following your dream regardless of where it goes.
Yeah, making music that's it.
I feel that.
Absolutely. So, we just spent 3 days here in the studio with you guys recording your new single, and I wanted to reflect on your guys' experiences here in the past 3 days.
What you got to say? I know you're biting at the bit over there. You were
No, it was fun. First day I got in there, I just started playing the drums and just basically seeing excitement on everybody's face and you guys, seeing that you actually liked it was kind of kick ass, gave me a little bit of confidence.
Yep.
And fun mostly. Fun. I mean, every once in a while you get a little hungry, so you got to order up some pizza, and
Absolutely.
whatever. But
working hard up in here.
yeah.
What about you, Rick?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, you learn like a few new things. Some things like you thought could work out like for the better, and just I don't know, like pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah. You're only here for the last 2 days, so you didn't get to see like the
Yeah.
full thing come to light. But in the last 2 days, like the song really came together, I feel.
Yeah, like way more than like what it originally was. I mean, I remember hearing like the original version that they were working on like before I was in the band, and it's come a long way since then. Like just this one song, and since that one song was written, I mean, there's numerous other ones also, but just the evolution of it all.
Yeah, I feel that.
What about you, Mark?
I
Yeah.
like being in the studio, and I've been to others before, and I enjoyed it, but I enjoy the vibe here a lot more. You guys are fun to do things with. Not only just sitting there, having a stick up your butt. You're over here rocking out with us, getting into it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, very relaxing.
Yeah.
And like you got to understand that like being in here for 8 hours, sometimes it can get a little tedious. We try to keep it light.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Keep you guys motivated just as much as we're motivated. And it helps when you got a good song when you come in, You guys know what you're doing. You guys know your songs. Stuff like that. That keeps us going as well.
Absolutely. What about you, Nick?
I think it's been a good experience. I think you guys are good at what you do. You got a really good ear for everything. You guys have helped us take and polish up Unbreakable to a point where it sounds even better than it did when we came in. Just little ideas about little nuances here and there that you guys throw in. You guys are pitching in your opinion, and it's great, man. the metronome was new for me. You know, getting used to playing with a metronome and drilling it on 187. And other than that, I mean, I think it's been great. The tones that we're working with and everything sounds really good.
We went through a lot. We went through like 3 or 4 different options for everything. So I think we came up with some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
It sounds powerful
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, definitely pleased.
So now you guys got your single done and you're moving on to the EP. What are your expectations from like listening to what this sounds like now and moving into the next several songs that you guys are going to be doing here?
I'm stoked. Like, you know, Unbreakable is just the beginning. And by the end of this, I mean, I don't even know how awesome that feeling is going to be that day. Also, on top of it, you know, just having the fact that you're done doing the studio thing. You know, at some point, you're going to be like, well, I'm over it, you know? But you get it done.
Yeah.
And then you're proud of it. So I'm stoked to get to that point as well, but I still have more of an excitement for let's get in here and do this.
And get it done. And
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely looking forward to doing like a full EP with you guys.
Absolutely, man.
it's a big accomplishment. It's
Yeah,
a
I
big
mean, just hearing what
accomplishment.
you've done with like Unbreakable and like just the sound quality and like everything and all the help that you've given to the band, like in the recording process, I mean, definitely helps out.
Helps that you guys like metal too.
Hell
Definitely
yeah,
helps
man.
you
Yeah.
guys like similar genres.
And you know, like we're not here just to like record your songs and kick you out. Like we really want to build a bond with like you guys and the community, and that's like why we do this stuff. We do the podcast and we bring you guys in and we want to learn why you guys do the things you do. Like you guys are still people. You're not just this image that is, you know, the band. You guys have individual stories, and that's why I think it's so cool to do stuff like this. And like the EP kind of shows that, you know. You get the vision of what the band wants and what the band wants to portray, but like stuff like this goes a long way to show like each personality and show each person what they're getting out of the band as well.
Right.
Right.
So now you guys were talking a few days ago also about the possibility of a music video. Would you guys maybe want to talk about that a little bit?
It's so far in the works. I mean, we don't have much information to give you with that just yet, but it's definitely in the works.
Most definitely.
I guess it's for other people to hear right now. You're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. It's gonna be a surprise.
So you guys have 2 shows, pretty awesome shows coming up this summer. First one would be July 18th at Shay's Tavern, and they're going to be playing with Inanimate Existence and Ostracized. How you guys feel about that one?
Very happy.
Stoked.
Stoked?
Yeah, it should be a pretty cool show. I mean, Shays isn't that big of a place, and then having it be like a first like legit show playing with this band, I mean, it should be a fun experience. I mean, kind of like open our eyes to like some things, like give us an idea like what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Coming from playing in a punk rock band, I'm very familiar with Shays. I shows at Shays, so it'll be nice to be back there.
Hell yeah.
See, I haven't played Shays before, but in my previous acts, playing shows is fun. You know, can be a little nerve-wracking too, but the smaller venues, those are where it's at, and that's
how you
where I'm
connect
kind of
with your
excited.
audience.
Yeah, you have a
Exactly.
way more intimate experience.
You can get that whole venue jumping. You know, so
Absolutely. And on the other show is July 27th with Fit for a King at Jub Jubs, which I'm personally super excited for. How are you guys feeling about that, playing with such a more established band?
It's very exciting. It's not every day you get offered that kind of a show. So you know, I think I was smiling ear to ear when I found out it was actually going to happen. It was I mean, I honestly just heard of these guys not that long ago, about
Really?
last year, and then you know, when I heard we were going to play for them, I was just like, no way.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
Getting on big shows like that definitely like it gets you pumped.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had never heard of them until I met Mark, but they're definitely good, and they should have a good draw, and that'll be good.
They're pretty big around here. Fit for a King is super big. I went to a show with them a couple of years ago, and they're huge around here. Same with like Monster Flames. They just played here a couple months ago. We did that
Motionless in
show.
White.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
played with Motionless
Yeah.
in
They
White.
killed it there.
I was there. That
Yeah.
was an awesome show.
My buddy
Absolutely.
Mike's
Brought it
favorite
down.
band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Fit for a
stoked about
King. They're like one of my newer favorite bands of
Me
like the
too.
last 6-7 years. I actually showed them to Mark and got him interested in them.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I had the opportunity to like meet the guys about 4 years ago. They played down here
They're super
over
cool
in
dudes.
Sparks.
Yeah. I was at that show.
Yeah. It was a super fun show, like a small venue and everything. Like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all pretty cool guys and all. Like friends with them on Facebook and stuff. Like they're always willing to talk.
They're very
always
genuine
willing.
people.
Oh yeah, always willing to give you pointers and stuff.
Absolutely. That's really cool, man. That's awesome. Sounds like you guys are really excited. I am too, man. It's going to be
Yeah.
really awesome. So, where can your fans and everyone find you on social media?
We do have a Reverb Nation, but it's lately not been updated much. Right now, our Facebook is pretty much the common way to reach us, which would be facebook.com/AgFast Reno.
AgFast, so AGAFS.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes for all seasons abbreviated.
Okay.
Yeah.
for sure.
Or the only other way is we've got an email, which is agfastreno@gmail.com. So that's another way to reach us. As far as social media goes, I'd say Facebook. We're working on building the other stuff. Just haven't had much time lately. So, and I do a lot of that stuff myself. So
Absolutely.
between the band and having 2 kids, it's a little rough sometimes to jump up there and build up a bunch of websites and such.
Absolutely. When can people start expecting to see like new music come out?
I'm pretty sure we plan on releasing Unbreakable as another single as soon as we get that out, from you guys. But as far as the EP goes, I'm not too sure where that's headed just yet. Got to get it recorded.
It'll be soon.
Yeah, it might be like a couple more months or so
There we
before
go.
we get more material
I
released.
keep
but
telling these guys to speak. At practice to speak. Now they do.
Words of wisdom.
I mean, as of right now, we only got Avarice on the Facebook page. There's links for it. There's links for it for like iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that.
YouTube.
So
Is that on
Yep.
YouTube?
YouTube, Spotify.
yeah,
I
there's a
personally
lyric
listen to
video
them
on
off of
YouTube.
Spotify, so
Absolutely.
it's definitely out there. You guys are definitely on the internet everywhere. So
Awesome.
Well, all right, guys. This has been the Twin Visions Recording Studio podcast with A Ghost for All Seasons. And make sure to check out their new single, Unbreakable.
Peace out.
Later.